Okay, the second unveil from Maruti Suzuki today is this. This is the Fronx, a crossover based on the Baleno platform. It's very obviously based on the Baleno because the wheelbase is exactly the same as the Baleno. But I must say, the styling in the flesh is really, really nice. It's probably the nicest looking Maruti around after the Jimny, of course. In terms of the styling elements, you can definitely draw a link to the Grand Vitara. I think that's really cool. Not often that Maruti Suzuki has a styling family, but this is the first time things look a little more homogeneous. And another thing that caught my eye, the boosterjet engine. Turbo-petrols are finally back with Maruti Suzuki. For years, they've been saying, no, it doesn't work, it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It did tank on the Baleno RS, but they've got it back in here with a mild hybrid system. So fuel efficiency should be better than your regular turbo-petrols. This is really exciting from Maruti Suzuki.
Welcome back to Auto Expo coverage. In the previous video, Anand told you about the 5-door Jimny. Yes, that is finally here in India, and India is the first country to get that. Apart from that, they have also unveiled the Fronx. Now, this is more butch version of the Baleno because it is based on the Baleno. But in India in general, cross versions of many hatchbacks haven't really done well. So maybe that's why Maruti hasn't bothered calling this the Baleno Cross. But either ways, it's an interesting name and it's an interesting looking car, so let's get straight into it. In terms of design, this is a very butch looking design with proper SUV proportions. If you look at it in detail, it looks a lot like a baby sibling of the newly launched Grand Vitara. It has a nice design scheme going for it. On the inside also, it's a very familiar cabin. You have that same heads-up display, you have a very familiar steering wheel. The instrument cluster setup with the MID is pretty similar, and so is the infotainment system, and all the vents and everything also look like shrunken down elements from that of the Grand Vitara. And I quite like that brown metal dual tone color scheme that they have going on the inside. Now, like I said, this is essentially based on the Baleno. So you have the same hardtech platform and you have the same wheelbase and all as well. Now we don't have the specific details of the ground clearance. Now because Maruti is claiming that this is an SUV, they may have done tweaks to the suspension to increase ground clearance and make it more adept at handling our bad Indian roads. But more on that when we get those details. For the time being, we do know that it is based on the hardtech platform, and in terms of engines, you get two to choose from. You get the 1.2 litre K-series dual jet engine, and that engine is good for around 88.5 bhp and 113 Newton meters of torque. Gearbox options for this engine layout is a 5-speed manual transmission or a 5-speed AMT. Now, for those who want a little more pep, you have the 1 litre K-series turbo boosterjet engine. Now this is the same engine that had made its debut in the Baleno RS, but we never got that engine after that, so now it's here as well. In terms of outputs, you have 99 bhp from this engine and 147 Newton meters of torque. So that is pretty peppy, and apart from that, you can have this engine mated to either a 5-speed manual or a 6-speed automatic torque converter. Now in terms of safety, you get the standard safety bits. You have ESP, hill descent control and 6 airbags as standard. And apart from that, like most of the new Marutis these days, you also get the smart hybrid system.